21 books and 4 CDs from the book sale this Saturday. Very small haul, but there's some nice books in there. A few valuable ones, over 25 bucks. Some fast sellers, etc. So I only spent $12.75 on all of those. It was half off. Wasn't able to go the first day, Saturday, so I went Sunday later in the afternoon, and there was a ton of people there, and there were quite a few resellers as well. But I still got some good books. This pile of books over here I've already listed, and this small pile I'm going to list, and that pile over there I'm going to list, and then I have another bag in the other room that I'm going to list, and of course I have to list the books from the book sale and the CDs. I actually had my shipment going to 2 separate warehouses, all of these books here at 49 books, one of them across the country, another one in state. So I decided I'm going to do a big shipment and just put all the books together, which I don't like, haven't done in a while, but I didn't want to have to go back and take out all the other books just to send half of those books in state. So sometimes that happens, but I just want to get them all out and move on because I have more sourcing tomorrow and these need to go. Yesterday I went to a book sale, which was the second day of the sale, and everything was half off. So I paid about 50 cents per item, per book and per CD when all was said and done, which was great because there were a couple books in there easily going to go for over $20, at least 2 or 3. And most of them were bread and butter type of stuff. A lot of stuff that's going to sell fast. A few CDs that are pretty good, not big profit CDs, but ones that'll sell pretty nice, pretty quickly for a decent profit. And the first day, Saturday, which I was not able to go to, otherwise I would have, it was full price, so I would have paid double what I paid, which is about 25 bucks. So that was good, but nonetheless, I would have preferred to go the first day because that's when a lot of the resellers will buy the books. This is a large book sale, over 20,000 books is what they say, and it's a lot of books, definitely. So there's a lot of sections they cover. They have a ton of fiction, all kinds of nonfiction. So general, music, art, school-related, textbook type stuff, biographies, everything basically. And they have a whole kinds of old literature books. They have all kinds of hobby stuff, just Christmas, holiday stuff. So it's a big book sale, and it's a library, so most of it's donated, I believe. They have them a couple times a year, but nonetheless, this is one that I don't mind going to just because there's so many books that even if there's another half a dozen resellers, there's so many books to see that it's still worth it. And what I found yesterday is that even if there are resellers there, you can still find profitable books. Of course, I would have liked to have found 40 or 50 books, but that had to do with just a couple of things, that there being a lot of books to go over, not a lot of time, only had a couple of hours, and my scanner battery, my KDC 200 scanner battery died on me, or the scanner died on me, so I had to do the rest of it about a little less than half of the time. Had to use my cell phone camera, which, as you know, takes a lot longer with FBA scan. Otherwise, you just use the KDC and it's really fast. So that was another reason. Nonetheless, it was profitable and worth going to, and they're going to have a couple more coming up as well. So there was 2 booksellers that I was aware of there yesterday. One of them was scanning, doing kind of thing, same thing I'm doing, but I still found books. Even went through the same section he did, still found some books. And there was another guy who I've seen multiple places who doesn't use a phone or a scanner, just picks books out, and him and another guy were able to fill an entire library cart full, and it was easily a couple hundred books, probably, maybe 200 or so. Half off, they probably paid nothing for them. Sort of seemed to be random to some sense of what the books he was picking out, but whatever. Everyone has their own model way of selling books, whether it's through Amazon, whether it's through eBay, whether it's through Facebook groups, whether it's an actual brick and mortar store, whether it's at a flea market, whether it's at an antique booth, whether it's at a swap meet. So there's all kinds of different business models. Not everybody does Amazon FBA or Amazon Merchant. So maybe he does a variety. I don't know. But nonetheless, he's clearly making money. So that was the competition, so to speak. And everyone else was basically just readers, just there to buy books for themselves. So there wasn't too many resellers. I didn't really get to go through everything just because time ran out And I also want to take a look at some of the kids' books for my kids, which they didn't have very good ones. A lot of the other sections, though, I didn't think I could find too much, so I didn't bother. I briefly looked through some of the fiction, but it wasn't really very good. A lot of it was hardcover. So I just want to make the point that, you know, I've always said that I prefer thrift stores, yard sales, and estate sales, and of course bulk buys off of Amazon, mostly CDs. But book sales can be good, but like I said before in other videos, you got to find the ones that work for you and that make most sense to spend your time and your money on. Number one, do they have good books? Good books for Amazon FBA. Is there enough profit, right? Is there enough books? I found another book sale that I've been to twice, I believe. It's a huge book sale, but the books just aren't that great for FBA. I don't know if they sell them themselves or for whatever reason they just don't have that great of books. But this one does have a lot of quality books to resell, and that's why there's a lot of resellers that go to it. When I find a book sale that has quality books for FBA, and number two, I would think that you want to have, if not low competition, at least have it be a really big sale, like at least 15, 20, 30,000 books. I mean, if you can go to one of those that have 100,000 books, I've never been to one like that, but that would be incredible. So make sure that it's a large sale, and if there's a lot of competition. If there's low competition, then 10,000 books, which is a lot, is probably good. But nonetheless, you should make sure that there's good FBA books. Not a lot of competition unless there's unless it's a big sale. Oh, and I haven't run into this, but apparently there are some book sales where they do not allow scanning, but I think that's the minority of book sales. But thankfully I haven't seen one like that, which I think is bizarre, because why would they limit what they can sell or who they can sell to when the idea is to sell the books? But whatever, be aware of that. There might be some in your area that do not allow scanning or using a cell phone. You just have to go through and pick books out, which if you've been doing it for a while, maybe you can still have some success with, but assuming the books are cheap. So even though there was competition there yesterday, I was still able to find books, going through sections that people had already gone through, and I know that the previous day there had already been a lot of resellers and they'd gone through all the books. It seemed like they were bringing out some new books, but the bulk of them, the majority of them, were still there from Saturday's sale. So a lot of them had already been gone through, and for whatever reason, some were left behind that still had, that were still good to sell, unless they had put out some new ones. So it always blows my mind how I find stuff that other resellers have gone through. Sometimes multiple resellers have already gone through those books. So I don't know what they're looking for if they're doing FBA. If they're not doing FBA, then maybe, I don't know, maybe they're not looking for that kind of book. So keep book sales in your options for going out to find books. You just have to find the good book sales that are worth your time and money. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Now, sometimes you have to go initially to find out which ones are good, and that's just how it works. I didn't know until I went to some book sales which ones are worth it and which ones are not. So initially, you just want to pay attention. How big is the sale? How many resellers are there? Are you finding good books? Are the prices good, as in $1 or less per book? If you're paying $2 for paperbacks, and they're not going to have half off the next day, and the books better be really good, because that's just too much money. So keep all of those things in mind. Bring along a paper bag, a box. Sometimes you can have those little rollers where you can put a little, like almost a milk crate or a crate on there, a couple of crates, fill those up, and people roll those around. I've seen people do that. I just bring bags because I know when I go to these sales, I know which ones that I'm not going to get 100 books, not usually. So I bring a couple of double bags, Trader Joe bags or whatever, because I don't like to lug around a big box. A lot of these book sales will have a holding area, so you can go put your stuff over there, put your name on it. You know, they have someone usually watching it to make sure someone's not going through everybody's stuff, and it should be fine. So you don't have to drag all your books with you. Usually you want to bring a box or a crate or bags, not plastic bags. Bring like grocery store bags, double bag it so that they don't, because they can get really heavy, so that they don't break. So try out some book sales if you haven't been doing it. I know a lot of people go to book sales frequently. Maybe they're in an area where there's a lot of book sales and there's really great books, and then that's great. You have your scanner, you have your FBA scan, whatever it is, you're able to look up books quickly without having to take too much time to find quality ones, then you can compete against other people and probably still do really well. And even better, if you have book sales where there isn't that much competition, then you can clean up. And also a lot of these will have half day or half price off second day, or they'll do bag sales. This one did a half off the price, and then they did a bag sale at the end of that, which was $2 a bag. So you could come in and just grab a bunch of books. I'm sure some resellers just
only do bag sales, but you're gonna have to understand that books are heavy, and if you're just grabbing books you're not sure about, you're gonna have to deal with them or get rid of them in some way. And if you don't have a profitable way to do that, you're just gonna donate them, then you're just cleaning up for the library or the book sale people. So it was a good one. 21 books, 4 CDs, 25 items in total. Be a nice profit off of that, off of $12.75. And I'll look for a few more book sales for the rest of the year. There'll be a couple more to go to, and I'll just keep plugging away at everything else. So let me know if you went to any book sales lately and how they went, and if you have anything to add to the preparation to go to one, or how to find good ones, that sort of thing. And as always, remember, keep booking.